Hey, what's up, man? Thank y'all for tuning in. Please hit the subscribe button before we get started. Also, make sure y'all hit the like button, and leave a comment down below in the comment section. If there's something that you want to say, um, today, man, I want to talk about just some of the stuff that's going on in youth football. And a lot of stuff is that's going on is empty schedules. A lot of teams don't have schedules to go by because they're not in the league or they're trying to play travel ball, right? So the thing about it is, man, that's what we deal with when it comes to playing for a team when we got all the best players on that specific team. You can't get in leagues. They don't want you to play in there because they want, as to be as equal as possible. They want, other players and teams to be able to compete. So therefore, they have to be conducive to traveling ball. And so we already understand with traveling ball comes a lot of money. You have to pay to go out, you have to travel to other locations, right? You're not just playing in a specific league like you once did when there was an ABA at the Mayfield, ABA, when there was a Falcons United, Tucker, when there was a East Metro Steelers, when there were a bunch of teams that were so good that all of them could have went to the YNC, but YNC always only selected a certain few because they didn't want it to be for Georgia, even though all those teams were good enough. But it brings us to now to where now you got a lot of teams that's complaining about coaches pulling out, which I'm also, complaining about it because if the schedule is set, then the schedule should be made, right? I mean, the game should be played, and that's just the bottom line. But what brings us to this? The internet. The internet brings us to this. Some of these coaches are afraid to be memes when it's really not even about them, right? All you got to do is put your head down and then just keep playing the game. Now, if you one of them coaches that sitting up there taunting other teams, saying that y'all want games and that y'all beat them down and y'all will do X, Y, and Z to them, like, yes, you're gonna have to play the game because now you're basically saying that I can compete with these teams. So then you got to take what comes with it. Now, if you just a team that just want to play to get better, see where your team is at, and that be your measuring stick, then fine. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really talks about them. You see Lambo beats a lot of teams. You see somebody like ATL Elite Voodoo that beats a lot of teams. They only talk mess when the coach comes at them and talk a lot of mess to them. If you don't like people, talking mess to you, all you gotta do is not say nothing to them. And that's been the case. Like, for instance, Coach Mark Flanagan, right? He said some stuff to Coach Rod Mack, right? Or, vice versa. These are mutual agreements to basically be able to talk about a team if you end up beating them. But some of these coaches are so afraid that they basically minimizing the competition and that they're not even allowing these kids to try to compete with a team that the players feel like they can compete with. So I'm saying, bro, I'm saying all that to say that the route of people going and getting the best players is hurting other situations. It's hurting the fact that now you don't have a schedule. Now certain teams don't want to play you. It's a lot of teams out there, but we would think that there's none out there because none of them are playing any of these, what I'm saying, like any of these elite teams because they don't want to, risk being embarrassed and blew out, and they feel like they not gaining nothing by playing these type of teams. Now you don't have nobody to play because you don't want to travel. They don't want to travel. So basically, y'all basically playing internet hockey. Like none of these games are being made. And so that's why I said the rules have to be established in order to make sure that everything is copacetic. And a lot of people are not doing that. You know what I'm saying? They just want to play on on a good team, you know what I'm saying, without understanding that, damn, some weeks you might not even play a game. Y'all got to practice. Y'all got to continue to play against each other, right? Now, knowing that, would you be so quick to go to a team that's super stacked that nobody is want to play? Yes, y'all the best team, maybe the best team or top 10 of the best teams out there, but how can y'all show it when y'all can't play no games? See, these are the things that a lot of people are not privy of and they don't look at because they always looking for something to bind themselves to something to so-called be a part of that's great. But how great is it when you can't get a game? It's too much stuff out here that, you know what I'm saying, that's going on, and people are not sitting there and taking the time to say, you know what? Okay, if I do this, how would that affect this? And that's the thing that I understand about the coaches. Here's the one thing I understand about the coaches. I see it with Voodoo and I see it with Rare Breeds. Everybody wants to be like Rare Breeds and Voodoo. And the thing about it is, like, yes, okay, if you playing national ball, yes, get the better player, but don't be trying to play the people that's at your, you know what I'm saying, at your state. They're not going to play because y'all already at an advantage. Y'all already got the best players, right? But the thing about it is the whole national thing is still unorganized. It doesn't make sense. It's nothing that says, you know what, if you don't play this game, or it's nothing that's creating a situation to where they have a set schedule. If y'all want to play national, these are the teams that's looking to play national, and we're going to look at their record. Hey, how you doing? Hey, they're not making it to where, like, okay, this team, consider themselves a national team. This team also consider themselves a national team. We're going to create a national level to where you're going to have to play certain games. You're going to have to travel and play certain games. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing like that. It's like, okay, play one or two ranked games and then beat up on your hometown, and then we're gonna base it off that to determine your ranking. But in the process, guess what? Now, when they finally get their ranking, guess what's happening? All of a sudden, there's a whole bunch of people that can't play games now. Remember, before they had the ranking, they had a whole bunch of games that they were trying to play. But once they were the team that end up ranked, now all of a sudden you can't find them. That's why I respect the twins from the NC Giants. The minute that he heard that I put them on DuckTales, guess what happened? He said, you know what? I'm going to pull up to the DMVU and we're going to play that game. And they did. They didn't win it, but they played the game. And I'm not going to punish them for doing stuff like that. We are unorganized all around the board. These is the reasons that you have so many teams out there who have an empty schedule. It's getting too watered down. Like I said, man, when teams were even, they had, coaches that was good enough and that was coaching them kids to be good enough to also play to go to a YNC. Now you just having people just cheat the process. Oh, let me get him. Let me get this person. Let me get that person. Let me get this person. Let me get that person. And now all them people on the same team and wondering why they can't find no competition. Come on, bruh. Ain't nobody that silly, bruh. Y'all got to sit there and look at, oh, damn, I'm minimizing the competition. Who am I going to play? When all else fails, right? Who am I going to play? So if we look at the 13U, and we talk about home games, only team that Rare Breed can literally play is South Bend Supreme and Stonecrest. But they used to have 8 teams that you could play at home to still get some work. They had the state. I still think they got state, but they were able to play these games and not have to travel. And then once they got to a point to where they maybe have won a state, or they, you know what I'm saying, are they that good, or just a good team that was knocking each other off at battle, They went to go play everybody else's best. You feel what I'm saying? But they didn't really have to travel. Their team was just good enough to actually play versus any team. But now you got all these teams that consider themselves national teams. But every time they say, man, I want some smoke, then you got the nerve to say, yeah, but can y'all come to us? Like, bro, don't consider yourself a national team. If you can't travel, do not consider yourself a national team. Just don't do it because it makes no sense. In order for you to consider yourself a national team, you have to play teams all around the nation. Not saying that you are the one that has to travel. You feel what I'm saying? All the time, like Rare Breed does. Rare Breed probably travels maybe 60 to 70% of the time. They want them to always come to them. You feel what I'm saying? So if y'all want to get this right, man, we have to make sure that we basically define what a national team is. And if you have a team on the schedule, that's a game that must be played. And even if they give you a verbal, yes, the game has to be played because it's too much going on and teams talking about they the best, but they not willing to play the best. How does that make sense? It don't make a lick of sense to me. So that's, you know what I'm saying? Like that's something that can be corrected. But now, will it be corrected? I doubt it because don't nobody like structure. People like an outlet in everything that they do. They like the outlet. Oh yeah, I wanted to play this team, but then canceling the game at the last second, knowing 4 weeks ago and when you made the game that you was never gonna play it. It's too much of that going on. Making games that you know that you are not going to play and then cancel at the last second and then come up with an excuse. Bro, ain't no excuse after that. Ain't nothing you can say. So now we looking at the product of what we created. Now you got a bunch of all-star teams, right? That can't get games, can't get in the league, and now they don't have certain games scheduled, and and so as a result, they can't get games to play. Okay, you got teams out here begging to play games because of a system that people have created that is non-structural. Feel what I'm saying? So, that's something that can be corrected. Stop taking all the best players. You know what I'm saying? You need more coaches. You need more coaches to do they part and they side of the you know what I'm saying, like of what's going on. But if that's not the case, man, then I literally don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say because um yeah, it's too much of the ducking. Too much. Feel what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Let me see. What's the next topic, man? What's the next one? All right. So then the other thing, right? It has been the complaints about officials. Now there has been a lot of teams who has been complaining about the officiating, right? And then you got somebody like me who talk about home cooking, in which there is, right? There is a lot of home cooking. You know what I'm saying? And when I mean, because it's a difference between officials just cheating and somebody that's doing home cooking, right? The difference is home cooking is when the official is giving their home team a favorable advantage, right? And it's obvious what is being done, right? Those are that's what I call home cooking, right? When the officiating that's from that actual area is calling calls against the away team. Now, when I say bad officiating, I'm more so talking about somebody who just not calling certain things or who's calling plays back when it had nothing to do with the plays, or it's just overall just bad decision making. That's like those are the difference, You know what I'm saying? When I say home cooking versus bad officiating. But when we look at things, man, it's a product of what a lot of these parents created. And why do I say that? Because you had a lot of parents out here cussing out the referees and officiating. There has been coaches who quit. So there's a shortage in coaching. There's a shortage in officiating. And this is the product of parents' behavior, coaches' behavior. As a man, which is the majority of the officials are men, right? They get cussed out. Then, you know what I'm saying? They want to do things and they feel like it's not worth it, right? So therefore, what is going on is you got parents cussing out officiating, coaches cussing out the officials, right? A lot of them have quit due to the disrespect side of things. And then as a result, guess what? We getting the most terrible officials out there because they're not as experienced as those other officials. But guess what? The good officials already quit because they couldn't take what was going on. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I say this, man. I say this. A lot of times we don't understand our behavioral patterns. We somehow think that since you officiate, that you have to take verbal abuse from either the coaches or from the parents. And that's not the case. Because I'm going to be honest with you. If I am officiating, I'm going to quit before I end up doing something to one of you parents. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of coaches I mean, a lot of coaches and officials, they're quitting because of the abuse. They don't want to deal with it. And that's why I'm saying my culture, we don't think about consequences. We just react, we say things, and we don't think about the consequences. So some of y'all might say, I don't give a fuck. Some of y'all might say that. So you don't care that your son may not have a home to go to, right? On the field. You don't care that your son might not have a team to play on. You don't care that your son is getting the most terrible calls against him because now the referees that y'all ran away is no longer there to officiate. So now you just getting referees that's out there calling anything because they don't really care. All they want is the check. We don't care about that. We don't think about that, right? Until it's actually sitting at our front door. Bad officiating is sitting at our front door because the good officials that was there who had years, who's not trying to cheat the kids, is now gone. They went on and just did high school. They don't no longer want to do the youth football things. But now, you know what I'm saying? That makes it bad for everybody. It makes it bad for the owners, right? Or the people who throwing the event. Now they got to pay more for officiating because the ones that they have to get, it costs more now, right? You know what I'm saying? When the good officiating was also doing stuff at a discount. They wasn't trying to hit the kids over the head. But now you got to get the high paying officiating if you want good officials. That's what he got. That's what it came to. So we all got to play our role. That's why I always tell my parents, hey man, make sure y'all the best representation of, you know what I'm saying, of y'all kids, because it's twofold. You got recruiters who are now looking at youth football games and they're paying attention to the parents. Then, right, you got organizations who literally took places because they're saying that parents cannot behave themselves. So therefore, it's not conducive. And we need this to basically put apartment buildings on there. That's that aspect. Then we got officials that's quitting because they can't take the verbal abuse. So now we getting the worst officials. That's that product. That's that part of it, right? So are you not seeing how it could become a domino effect? Now the owners is being the person who's throwing the event is being punished. Now he may not want to throw events. Then the officials is being punished. Now they may want to quit. So you get bad ones. Now you got the people who out there doing development who's looking at parents' behavior that's saying, yeah, we could take this. We could take this location. And they only acting up and fighting anyway, right? Which brings me to the shooting. They're at a game, right? A kid's game, a youth football game in New York. Now all of a sudden they hear gunshots, right? I can't play the video because YouTube would copyright me. They would strike me, right? But basically they're playing a football game, and then you got people who are so emotional to the point where you shoot while there are little kids playing at the game. Now, since I've been doing this, there has been multiple times that they shot at events when it's pertaining to kids. Now, as a man and as a parent, these are the young men that I'm telling y'all about. Emotional men, emotional kids are emotional boys are dangerous. They are the most dangerous people. You say something to make them mad and upset, and guess what? They're going to react then. And if let them not have a gun. Please don't let them have a gun. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to do something stupid and then think about the consequences later, because now they in a place to where now they made it spend the rest of their life there, right? But this is the reason why I keep telling men, we need our men in these young men' life. And as a coach, you can't be emotional as the kids. You can't do it. Because when you emotional like the kids, guess what? They think that their behavior is rationalized, that their behavior is justified, that when they get upset at you as a coach, them misbehaving and walking off and disrespecting you is okay, because that's the behavior that is being displayed by you, the coach, or the parents, or the father that's not there to raise the parent. The child. So everything, as y'all see, I should have named this one the domino effect. Everything that we do has a domino effect. It does. So that's why I'm trying to, I don't know, man. It's frustrating, but I'm trying to help. Hey, what's up, Coach Tim? But I'm trying to help us, not lose everything. Because right now, man, youth football is all we have. Youth basketball is all we have. But guess what? We are stripping it away from our babies because of how we feel. We really feel like what we think in the way that we want to behave or react is so justified. It's not. Because that way of behaving, it's a domino effect. And you may not care now, but you will eventually. Just ask College Park when they had some events and people was up there acting a fool. And then when them people came in and they start talking about, they had drugs out there, they're fighting, misbehaving, and all these things. All the stuff that I told you that mattered, that they were continued to do. Then when them folks came in and took that event, now they didn't have a home to go to. Eventually they end up having a home, but these are the things that we can control. We can't go to the court system, the courthouse, and say, man, why are y'all taking our land? Why are y'all doing this? These are where the kids is playing. They're gonna come out and say, well, on this day, y'all had an incident where parents were fighting, this incident where they were smoking, this incident where young kids were doing X, Y, and Z. There was a bunch of explicitive. There were a bunch of this, and that. Now y'all seeing the domino effect. Now y'all understand why it's better to be more resolved about yourself, calm, say what you got to say, but let it be that. But we can't be fighting and arguing and bickering and all this other stuff, because these are the things that is going to transpire. Y'all done cuss these referees out. Now y'all dealing with the product of it, and y'all getting cheated up the wazoo because them officials really just don't know how to officiate. They just need some money. You know what I'm saying? They getting their money. They getting a dollar, right? And you can't knock them for that. But at the same time, it was controllable. It didn't have to be like that. It wasn't to the point where they were cheating so bad. Yeah, they may have missed calls. Everybody is going to miss calls. And y'all know me. I'll tell you home cooking in a minute. But my definition and what I call homecoming and bad officiating is different. Homecoming is when officials is giving their home team right favorable calls because it's their home team. But bad officiating, right, is just when the referees and the officials just don't know what they're doing. They're calling bad calls. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't know, bro. I think we can get it straight. I think I honestly, I'm gonna tell you this. Y'all already know I'm out here for my babies, right? I literally think a couple things can be true. I think y'all can get this platform to be the biggest platform out there for youth sports. And I think that y'all trust me enough to know that I will put all my babies on, right? Anybody that's doing right, doing their stuff, right? That's out there performing and not getting the exposure. I think y'all know that I put them on. How do y'all know I will put them on? Because I'm already doing it. There are so many kids out there that's now notarized, so many teams out there right now that's now notarized, that people know about because we creating the environment. You feel what I'm saying? So let's start there. Let's behave at these games, right? Let's stay passionate because that's what drive the game, right? When y'all so passionate about it, and then y'all talking mess to the opposing team, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, hey, I told y'all we was gonna beat y'all. You know what I'm saying? Look at the score, right? That's all football talk. But when it comes to the fighting aspect, then that's where we lose everything. Keep the game fun, but let's also keep the standard high. You feel what I'm saying? So that's all like this show is about. You know what I'm saying? For today, right? The domino effect. Let's not allow it to continue to happen because when it happens, everything falls, including your child, right? If nobody is out there, no coach that's feeling unappreciated, if they're not out there, unless you want to coach yourself, then you're not going to have nobody to, what I'm saying, help your child. So we got to look at those things. Your emotion does not outweigh your child's future. So control it. But that's all I got for now, man. I thank y'all for tuning in. I'm gonna only be making these shows like maybe 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But if there's anything that y'all would like to ask, it's a lady that I'm reaching out to. She knows about the NIL deals. She knows about what the do's and don'ts. So I'm looking to get her on. All I'm trying to do, and I need y'all help to do it, is build this channel. Let somebody know about this channel. Let people know that you have somebody out here that will give everybody the business, including the teams that he like. He's unbiased. I'm going to be the most unbiased person that you know, despite if there's a team that I end up talking about more than others. And it's always a reason for that. You know what I'm saying? But man, I thank y'all for tuning in. Let's take back what's ours, man, which is the world. Feel what I'm saying? So hey man, y'all be blessed. Hit that subscribe button and